Hello students, are you interested in motorsport? Do you follow Formula 1, 24 hours Le Mans? Because have you been following all these motorsports? You'll come to know the difference between championship lead, the pole position taker, or colloquially speaking, the winner of a race and second and third positions of the cars. If you look at the time margin, it differs in fractions of a second. Hardly within few microsecond difference, the winner and runner comes up. So, success in such kinds of sports is very marginal. The difference takes place in matter of microseconds and fractions of seconds. Now, when it comes to engine capacity, when it comes to fuel, when it comes to driving capability, it's all going to be very same. But what makes the difference, guys? It's the dynamics, aerodynamics. That is the key and the cutting edge in deciding victory and second best losers. So guys, the topic that we are going to discuss in this video is something very relevant to what's happening in such a high-end elite motorsport and the most advanced, most complicated, technically very challenging motorsport in this planet. It's F1 as well as aviations. So, it is all about the way with which a fluid moves in this machine as well as in human body. So guys, hemodynamics is the topic that we are going to take up in this video. What is hemodynamics? It's nothing but the physics that governs flow of blood within blood vessel. In many occasions, the dynamics that governs blood flow within a blood vessel is going to be very similar to the dynamics that govern airflow across a wing, across a propeller, across a wing of any high fast moving objects like fighter jets, civilian aircrafts, Formula 1 cars. So, the physics is going to be the same. The fluid differs. It can be either air, or it can be water, or it can be blood. But the concepts are just the same, doctors. Now, when it comes to the factors that governs this fluid flow, either into an engine or into this human engine, if you look at these factors, we have predominantly certain factors that governs the flow of blood into this engine, which is nothing but number 1, pressures, number 2, velocities, number 3, relation between pressure as well as velocity of moving column of blood, under which we need to see and we need to understand something called Poiseuille-Hagen's law, colloquially called as Poiseuille's law, and resistance to the flow of fluids, how blood flow is being intervened, or what are the factors that contributes to a resistance to blood flow. Alright guys, these are certain factors that we need to know in advance. And to sum up, you also need to be very familiar with the pattern with which blood flows. What kind of pattern it is? Is it laminar or turbulent? So collectively everything is called as hemodynamics, which means the governing factors involved in regulating or maintaining the pattern and magnitude of flow of blood within a blood vessel. Alright guys, so let us take up the very first parameter called pressure. Let's not rush this up. I want you guys to have a very thorough understanding of these concepts. Alright, so let us take up pressure first and let's see what it is. Now, to begin with, I want you to visualize a blood vessel. People. Now, in another way, consider this as a blood vessel in the luminal view. Picture 1 is the blood vessel diagram in the side view and the same blood vessel in the luminal view, people. If this blood vessel is filled with a fluid, and in this example it's going to be blood. Again, there is blood in the vasculature, guys. Now, the presence of a fluid in any structure, if you consider the way with which that fluid exerts a pressure. So, as per Bernoulli's principle, every single direction will be seeing the pressure of a fluid moving on, which means if a chamber or if a container has got a fluid accumulated, that fluid is going to exert pressure on every single direction and dimension of the container. So you can able to see pressure that is getting exerted on every single dimension of the vascular wall. So the fluid is going to exert its pressure all throughout the vascular wall. Now such a kind of pressure exerted by the fluid on the vascular wall is called lateral pressure. So such pressure is called as lateral pressure.